Good morning. All right, today I'm going to start a series that I hope to go for the long term on just impactful quotes or ideas that I've either come up with a few or most of them are things that I've picked from people throughout history or people that I know personally that have said some things that are extremely impactful. One thing I like to do on my phone is I keep a list of quotes and thoughts that I find really meaningful, and it's helped me a lot. Every few months I'll go through and I'll scroll through and I'll look at them again, and usually they're good credos or mottos to live by. And if I recognize that, oh, maybe I'm forgetting these things or I'm straying from the norm, these are essentially help make up some of the principles and codes that I try to live my life by. So I'm going to do some videos on some of these quotes and maybe share some of the things that I think I've gotten out of, or positive things out of, and maybe you'll be able to get some positive things out of too. So the first of which is actually something I started saying a few years ago, and it's little stones make big pyramids. So I got the inspiration for that quote comes from the pyramids. So personally, I've never had the pleasure of going to Egypt to see the pyramids of Giza or any of the other pyramids for that matter. However, in watching documentaries and seeing photos, and I'm pretty sure they're one of the seven wonders of the world, we're all familiar with the photos of what they look like, and the almost miraculous way that they built the base of them, and they build up into a pyramid. And we look at these massive things, and I imagine the scale of them when you're up close to them. It is really breathtaking and overwhelming. When you look at one piece of that, they're actually relatively small stones. I think they're still massive. One of the mysteries is how do they actually build that with manpower? But compared to the whole, they're all small. And when I think about those things in life as a metaphor for life, most, if not all, great things that people are able to accomplish, whether they be performances or careers or relationships or physical things that they're building, they start one piece at a time. And over time, those little stones, those little actions, those everyday disciplines, those challenges that people overcome, over time, that is one stone that is at the base and forming the body of the pyramid. So when you think about, whatever your goals are in life, and I think it's important for you to have long-term and short-term goals throughout your life, it's important to look at every subtask of each of those goals, whether they be long-term or short-term, as the little stones in your life. You're doing the work, the hard work, to put those little stones in the proper place so that ultimately you can build a pyramid, whether that be an event or an action or a lifetime pursuit of something, to build a family, to build a marriage, or to get started on a career, to finish a degree, to travel, to save up enough money to buy a car. All of those things, when broken down, if that is the pyramid, the pinnacle of whatever that goal is, underneath that pinnacle stone is a plethora of bigger stones underneath it, or the same size stones, but they're all building to a certain point. So everything you're doing as you're working towards that goal is putting a single stone in the place it needs to be in order to support and build up the rest of the stone. So little stones make big pyramids. And ultimately, if you're stacking stones day after day, month after month, ultimately, if they're all in alignment and you're putting them in the right places, you're putting in the work where the right work is required, you're studying where the right studying is needed, ultimately you will build a pyramid. And that is something that I've tried to remember and then try to live my life by. Hopefully it brings you guys a little bit of help and framework for understanding some of the trials that you might be going through in the short term as you build your pyramids in your own life. Have a good day.